Hey y'all, welcome in or welcome back as the case may be. This is our 31 Days of Prevention series where we join in, come together to share information, inspiration, and motivation to increase awareness and prevent future and ongoing domestic violence. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Marci Batiste. I am the executive director and founder of 9 Seconds. We're a progressive nonprofit organization based here in Phoenix, Arizona. We have a heart centered mission and a non traditional approach to domestic violence prevention. Definitely going about it completely differently. A lot of times we focus on the symptoms of problems, and the same thing with medical. We focus on the symptoms and we're not diving into the root cause. And so here at 9 Seconds, we really focus on the root cause of abuse, which ties into the generational system that you were born into in most cases. That being said, as a sister survivor, I really stop. Okay, that was 1 minute and 3 seconds. I was a good way through my introduction, and in that amount of time, 7 women were either abused or assaulted in this country. Every 9 seconds, a woman is abused or assaulted in this country. That funnels up to about 400,000 women per year. 400,000 women per year. This is not, I use the reference of women, but it's not just a woman's issue, nor is it just a man's issue. Women aren't the only victims, and men are not the only abusers. It certainly goes both ways. You will hear me speak oftentimes from the perspective of a woman because I obviously am a woman. I am a sister survivor. It has happened to me. Our organization and our programs are developed by survivors for survivors with the goal of taking you from the mindset of a survivor into becoming a champion. I liken myself to be a domestic violence champion. I don't like the mentality of survivor. I don't like the word victim, etc. and so on. To me, in my mind, the only victims are the ones whose voices are silenced forever and they die as a result of domestic violence. And it's a sad thing. And for us here at 9 Seconds, we understand it's not that simple. Domestic violence is a complex issue with a lot of commingled parts. It has a lot of moving pieces. There are a lot of people affected. But understand it's not just a woman's issue. It's not a gender issue. It's not a race issue. It's not an economic issue. It's not a geographical issue. It's not a class issue. It's a human issue. And as humans, all operating and moving about in this world, this affects all of us in one way or another. Even if you yourself have never been a victim of domestic violence, you're not a domestic violence survivor, more than likely you know someone who is. 1 in 4 women have been abused, and 1 in 7 men have been abused. So when you look at those numbers and then you think of all of the people that they're associated with, this epidemic, it's actually a pandemic within a pandemic. I know here in Phoenix, the numbers have skyrocketed since the beginning of the pandemic, and there's a variety of different reasons for that. But this video really is just to drive home the point that domestic violence affects all of us. If it physically, emotionally, or psychologically does not affect you, more than likely it economically impacts you. When we look at days missed from work, when we look at the cost of medical care for victims after they've been abused or assaulted, when we look at the time that they've lost from work. So you've got the company side where the company's losing money because you're not there being productive, and then you've got the side where a lot of times, depending on the situation, if you miss work, you don't get paid. And that's really just the reality of it. So this message really simply is for nothing more than to just remind each one of you who lay eyes on this video. Today is day 11 of our 31 Days of Prevention series. And just to remind you, as we approach the middle of the month, October, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, that this is a human issue. This is not a her issue or my issue or his issue, a they issue or their issue. It affects all of us in one way or another. And so it's up to all of us to do our part, to pitch in, to do everything that we can possibly do to work towards preventing this from happening, either in the present and certainly to keep it from happening in the future. So that's really my message today. Real short, real brief. We'll be back tomorrow with another message as it relates to domestic violence prevention and the continuation of our 31 Days of Prevention series. So in the meantime and in between, y'all, I cannot talk. Oh my goodness. In the meantime and in between times, make sure y'all stay well, stay blessed, and most importantly, stay safe. Have a good night, and I'll speak with y'all tomorrow.